Chapter 2 Freelancer. In the Demon Lord's office, Vendrick sits behind his desk while swirling his coffee mug, which reads Number 1 Boss. Another successful day at work complete, having just approved another upgrade to the security forces around the Underworld. He swivels his chair around to observe the 2 golden statues that have been recently erected in his honor. Ever since taking on the mantle of Demon Lord, the pot-bellied demon has made a ritual of taking some time to admire his gifts to himself for a job well done. The statue of Vendrick's left is of himself standing proudly, keeping vigil as the eternal protector of Vendrick sees within himself. To his right, a statue of Kobu's father. Vendrick puffs out his chest while looking upon his former master's effigy. My lord. The demon walks over to the statue. His smile falters as he studies the late demon lord's face, a sense that something was not quite right. Is that a smudge up there? Begrudgingly, Vendrick returns to his seat. It creaks loudly under the weight of his ample behind. A magical circle appears above his left hand and he brings it close to his ear. Nox, get in here! You called, Lord Vendrick? Vendrick gestures to the top of the statue. Deal with that unsightly spot. I won't have a speck out of place in my office, and have whichever custodian is in charge of cleaning my office be sent for re-education. I'm sorry, my lord, but you sent that custodian there just last week. Right now there's only a handful of them left in this city, now that most demons have been relocated to serve in the torture zones. Oh, right. First get that demon back in here to clean that smudge, then send him back for re-education. As you command, Lord Vendrick. Will that be all? Of course not. Do you have that report ready from the freelancers? The frog drifts backwards a touch, anticipating that Vendrick might throw something at him. No! I'm afraid I haven't been able to go through the latest reports. Vendrick shakes his head in umbrage. Not good enough, Nox. I expect better from my number 2. Yes, my lord. It's just that there are many complaint forms to go through every day, and I am but one demon. Smoke flares from Vendrick's nostrils. His eyes remain ever fixated on his second in command. How many times have I told you just to burn them? Those lackeys have become too soft under Kobu's rule. Now even the meager notion of work causes them to bemoan and bother. Well, they will learn how to become proper demons once more, and they will do so the hard way. Burn those complaints once we are done here. You understand? Yes, my lord. Nox conjures a small portal beside him, and an equally small cream-colored folder pokes out of it for him to grab. Then I will proceed with the Freelancer report. Out of the freelancers we contracted since Kobu left, each and every one has filed a report in turn. Vendrick bites onto his cigar impatiently. Those freelancers better not be slacking off just because they're on Earth. It's been months since they've been sent up there. If I hear another failed report, the interior of Vendrick's pot-belly mouth glows red, even as though ready to spew fire upon the frog at a moment's notice. Nox carefully floats further back to be sure that he's out of range. Demon flips through the file to find something, anything to pacify the glowing flames building up in the pit of Vendrick's stomach, smoldering into a brighter hue by the second. Just hand it to me, I'll find it. Nox nods, chucking the file at Vendrick. It shoots through the air like a flying star. Vendrick catches it between his fingertips right before it hits his eye. Really? You couldn't just levitate it to me? I thought that this was faster. How exactly am I supposed to read this? It's just so small. Just expand the file using your fingers. Nox mimics a pinching and expanding motion with his fingertips. Like this? Vendrick enlarges the file too much. The document expands, hitting Nox's floating hand. Caught off guard, Nox loses control of his platform. No. The hand whirls and reflexively launches the frog in the air. The frog twists in a somersault but somehow manages to fall back right onto the hand. Shaken, Nox hugs the fingers for support. He holds his head as he waits for the dizziness to subside. Vendrick continues to pinch mid-air, the file lengthening and shrinking in turn as Nox is poked in the face repeatedly. I do not get this contraption at all. Never mind, let me do it. Pinch Nox's overly large file and shrinks down to a far more manageable size. With his amusement settled, Vendrick flips through the documents, searching for a particular section. He sits upright now, ears perked up as he leans in closer to the desk. The flames in his stomach die down for a bit. Lord Vendrick? Take a look. He passes the file back to Nox. Nox's eyes quickly scan through the document when a cold chill grips his heart, and sensations so alien to him that he just sits, stunned at the details of the report. He would ask what this feeling means, but Vendrick has banned him from asking questions unrelated to work. Reluctantly, he forces his emotion aside. They found Zoan matching his picture in one of the red zones. They're waiting for orders to attack. Vendrick's expression twists into a wrathful grimace. I know that's where he's been thinking he would think of hiding, and you were against it when I suggested we send someone there. It's just no demons are supposed to go to such places. We could not risk one of our employees' lives. This one in particular keeps narrowly escaping each red zone they were assigned to, and it will be glad to give its life in service to the demon lord. That is the duty of every demon, and they should want for naught else. If it weren't for the 100-odd risk assessment documents just to get one freelancer out there, I would have sent more to the deep red zone. All the paperwork I had to do. What did you say? Nothing, Lord Vendrick. Order that freelancer to finish the job. I expect Kobu's head to be on my desk in 24 hours. As you wish, Lord Vendrick. Nox turns towards the grand door and makes his leave. Vendrick leans back against his seat and kicks his feet up onto the table. A soft smile spreads across his stomach. Just a little longer and everything will be set right. Just a little longer and he will have fulfilled his purpose. If this goes as planned, I wonder how I should celebrate my success. I could always use another self-portrait, or perhaps... Nox floats through the demon city. He abstains from using a portal so he could have some time to himself. The city smells unfamiliar to the demon. Gone are the greasy smells of food vendors or the warm, spicy scent of the different demons walking side by side. Now nothing lingers in the air. As he flows along the empty streets, he notices a six-legged demon walking through, sucking up the dust that has accumulated. The demon wheezes before leaning against a nearby wall. Clouds of dust escape their lips as they try to catch it in their hands. They gag at the sight of the dust, but reluctantly attempt to suck it up into their already engorged belly. Who knows how long it'll take to clean up the whole city. He carries on while observing the empty shops as he passes by, most either empty within or boarded up. Nox's mind wanders to the memories of how this city used to be bustling with demonic life. Before that, it used to be just a lush plain of endless meadows. A utopia of sorts that beckoned for inhabitants to populate it. Only the demon lord and their generals resided here then. That was before they decided to open it up to all the other demons. And then development began as the many deep creatures of the dark created a place of respite for themselves, a change of pace from the unending maelstrom of anguish. Knox reminisced about how he would overlook the toil of the demons in the early days, recognizing the diverse architecture of the building that came from the mortal realm. It was amusing to him and still continues to be food for thought for the amphibian. What significance is there in the architecture aesthetics of mortals? Do the demons perhaps survey the living for their mortality? Do they simply wish to mimic their ways to find an answer? Maybe they just did all of this for fun. As a general, he takes his role of caring for the demon underlings very seriously, but he's becoming harder to juggle all of his roles. Vendrick has forced most businesses to close, especially if he deemed them unnecessary to the process of gathering soul energy. "We are trimming the fat for progress," was what Vendrick said. Ironically, the old demon grew fatter while he tried to aggressively reduce redundancies within the company. Knox grows tired of the silence and reopens the report from the Freelancer while floating on ahead. His eyes trace the letters on the page, deliberating if there's further meaning of what it was written. A pang emanates from his stomach. It must be lunchtime. I wonder if that diner is open. The diner, a personal favorite location for the frog, is the only place that serves the triple cheese bugs and flies sandwiches that he likes. That sounds interesting. He recalls Kobu's faces when he offered the ex-demon lord half of his sandwich once. Kobu struggled to hold back the contents of his stomach as he forced the sandwich down. Oh, what the heck? Knox never understood why he did what he did back then. Huh? When he arrives at the diner, the owner, a short blue imp, is hanging up a sign, "Closed until further notice." The crestfallen imp rests his hand against the door before Knox decides to break the silence. "You're closed?" "Oh, General Knox, I didn't notice you're here." The demon jumps and whirls back, flashing a smile at his superior. "Were you summoned?" "Yeah, I just got my papers today. My business has been marked as redundant. I tried getting a contract to keep my shop going, you know. I told them I could help feed the working demons, but it got rejected. The reason was they already commissioned enough shops for that job. They picked Vendrick's 2 favorite eateries. Figures, it sucks ass, but don't tell them I said that." "I won't." "What's going to happen to the sandwiches then?" "I'm sorry, General Knox. I don't know what to tell you. Unless they loosen up on the never-ending crunch, there will be no sandwiches from me." "But here..." The demon hands a piece of paper to the frog, the size of it small enough to fit in Knox's hand perfectly. He wonders the possible lengths the imp went to write it down. "I meant to give it to you when I saw you. It's the recipe for your favorite sandwich. Maybe you can make it when you have the time. It's my thanks for helping me to start my business up in the first place." "Think nothing of it. I was just doing my duty to look out for all the demons." Knox glances at the paper in his webbed hand. He doesn't bother with opening it. Somehow the premise of making his own sandwich is not what's bothering him. "Thank you for this, but it just won't be the same." The demon just nods slowly. "I'd advise against looking for another place to eat around here. They're all pretty busy trying to keep the demands of the workforce on the torture floors." He walks towards the elevator hub. After a few steps, he stops and glances back. He looks on with misty eyes before finally turning forward and walking off into the distance. Knox croaks loudly as he stuffs the paper inside his file. His hunger is now overtaken by something else. Sour thoughts surface into the forefront of his mind. Relocation of staff to different sectors, a hollow metropolis, the Freelancer's report, and his master's orders. No! He slaps himself for even doubting his duties to the Demon Lord. His feelings have no place in this company. He must fulfill his purpose and obey. That is what a good tool does. No, you're more than a tool. He opens a portal back to his office, leaving behind the ghost town and his memories of a better time.